So the defender's inbounding from the baseline. Calderon. She has 5 on the shot clock. The pass is knocked away and stolen. Another turnover. Down low, that pass is knocked away, so good defense by both Messenger and Araneva. Inbounds to Lockhart, and she misses. That ball, though, tapped out for another rebound for Lycoming. Wide open is Lockhart, and she misses. And that ball lost out of bounds. And that is to Clark's Summit. Clark Summit hasn't scored yet here in the quarter, 2.5 minutes into it, and they'll take a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, rough start to the second quarter here for Clark Summit. Again, Singleton kind of trying to do a little bit of everything, but it's not quite enough. They're not able to really connect a ton of momentum on the offensive side of things, although it did look better for a bit there with the offensive rebounding.
Well, they're shooting 4 out of 19 from the field, and probably a half a dozen of those 4 out of 19 are layups that just have bounced out. And they are 0 for 4 as Clark Summit from the field here in the second quarter.
Again, we're seeing pieces of a turnaround. It just hasn't come to fruition just yet.
15-point lead for Lycoming, and a long 2 is no good. And Victoria Burton with the rebound in the game. Maya Wetzel down low to Reed. Reed backs in, goes up with a left hand and in. What a nice move and a nice shot by Kinsey Reed. Calderon, the 3, good. So the first 3 made, first points of the quarter, and now it's a 14-point game.
That's huge for Clark Summit.
Burton back the other way, misses, and that ball off the rim and out of bounds. So Clark's Summit with a chance to score on back-to-back possessions and maybe begin to claw their way back in the game.
Yeah, like I said, there were some pieces there. It's just a matter of finally connecting, and they did. So now capitalize on it.
There's a foul on Duffner as Singleton went to the ground after making that catch. Duffner picks up her second. That's just the first foul called against either team here in the second quarter. Duffner out, and Maya Wetzel, who had the hot hand earlier, has 9 points in the game. She's back in. Now a bounce pass. Out it goes. 3 by Messenger. Down and out. Well, that was a tough break. That ball looked like it would stay in the hoop. Burton down low, misses. And that rebound taken by Araneva. And now they're just trying to get the ball up the floor. It's to Singleton. She's down the floor. Calderon, no good. Offensive rebound by Messenger, who dribbles out. And now down the lane, and the layup is blocked. Good defense there by Lycoming. Down low to Reed. Burton wide open Wetzel. A 3 on the way. No good. Long rebound to Abdo. And now Lycoming resets their offense. Down to 3 on the shot clock. At the shot clock buzzer, the shot is missed, no good, and the ball is knocked out of bounds, and it will stay. It'll stay with Lycoming. Inbound to Reed. And now out to Wetzel, the 3. Got that one. Wow, that's the 4th three-pointer for Maya Wetzel.
big game for Wetzel, but the setup there in the paint by Reed was huge to get that spin around the defender and get the pass out to her.
There's a shot on the way and up and in by Araneva. Well, both these teams only average making 4 3-pointers a game. Well, Maya Wetzel has 4 all by herself. And up and no good. Long rebound goes out of bounds. 15-point game. It was 23-13 at the end of the first quarter. So Lycoming has extended the lead by 5 with a 10-5 advantage so far here in the second quarter. And Clark Summit, they really need to find a way to get this game at least back to 10 before halftime. Singleton has 7. The jumper on the way is good. And now the inbounds is stolen. And that pass is saved by Singleton, and now it's back the other way for Lycoming. Singleton sprinting down the floor. Get back in on defense. And that pass knocked away, but a foul on Caroline Winkle. Well, if you're Clark Summit here, you just need a couple of stops and a couple of baskets, and you'd get this thing under 10. Inbounds, and that shot up no good. Offensive rebound by Reed. That shot is blocked, but it stays, and here's Wetzel. And that one's no good, and that is out of bounds off of Lycoming. Their advantage on the boards is a timeout Clark Summit.
This one. Just haven't quite found that yet.
3:41 left here in the half. Full court pressure by the Warriors. Calderon, and that pass is knocked away, and now it's a jump ball, and the possession arrow is to Lycoming. Well, the defenders really just need to take care of the basketball a little better, especially in the backcourt going against that pressure. Bounce pass down low is knocked away, but Reed recovers, now to Lockhart. Tough shot is blocked, but to Reed, and now the ball is knocked away loose on the floor. Still with Lycoming, long 3 by Abdo, no good, and Lockhart loses the rebound out of bounds. They just crash the basket so well on the offensive end.
Again, that's huge. That's what's contributing to the offensive momentum they're getting. They can take a shot, and then they can take another one, string together some really good scoring opportunities in one possession.
Calderon, under 3 minutes. Singleton, 3, and that is no good by Winkle. Singleton, though, with the rebound. That is no good, and it's out of bounds. Out of bounds to Clark Summit. No, they're going to change it and say it's to Lycoming that ball wasn't blocked out of bounds. Quickly down the floor is Lycoming, but they opt not to go at the basket. Abdo, kick out. Wetzel thought about a Steph Curry three-pointer there. Down low is Kinsey Reed, and it's up and in. And that's their first basket in over 2 minutes for Lycoming, and it's back to a 15-point game. And there's a pass knocked out of bounds by Jillian Pamputis for Lycoming. Mia Rudalovich in. She played in last night's game 4 minutes. Wide open, Calderon. Long, no good. But the offensive rebound, and up is Winkle, and she is fouled. Wetzel's second foul. Well, this has really become more even over about the last 3 or 4 minutes. Unfortunately, that doesn't work well for Clark Summit because they started behind by 15. As the first foul shot is no good.
Yeah, and Clark Summit getting that offensive rebound sets up this opportunity just to put a couple points on the board here. Just keep the ball, hang on to the ball, whether it's making good passes, making offensive rebounds like that.
So both missed, but the rebound. And now Singleton, Calderon, got it. There's a three. And it's a 12-point game. Her second three of the game. That pass is knocked away, but across half court is Lycoming, and a layup up and in quickly by Emily Lockhart. A minute and a half to go, 14-point game. Minute and a half to go first half. A cross-court pass is knocked away by Maya Wetzel, and a foul on Serene Calderon.
Yeah, that's been one of the challenges so far, is just stringing together good passes. That one a dangerous one. Clark Summit pays for it.
Cami Abdo. Out it goes to Pamputis, now to corner to Wetzel, who misses the three. Wetzel now 4 for 9 from above the arc. Down low to Messenger. Nope, she traveled.
Good idea with the hesitation. Just move that foot.
I talked about it last week, and college officials look for that, actually. I mean, you can tell by the amount of times that's called. That is, as an example, never called in the NBA. It's called a lot in college. There's a steal in the backcourt, and it is Singleton to Calderon, and she tries to get it back to Singleton and throws the ball out of bounds. It's not tipped.
Well, this game's not going to win any awards for cleanest game we've ever watched, but there's a lot of grit, and neither team taking their foot off the gas at this point.
Quickly is Pamputis to Lockhart, and she scores. Lockhart with the basket. She has 10. 3 players now for Lycoming in double digits. And it's a 16-point lead for Lycoming, not their largest lead. 3 on the way, long no good. And that rebound knocked around by Singleton, and then she saves it. What a terrific play by Singleton. And now the skip pass. And a 2 on the way by Winkle, no good. Lycoming tracks down the rebound. Calderon. Under 8 seconds. Singleton, dribble drive, layup, drops. And that will end the first half. 39-25. It's a 4
sign, despite the scoreboard going into the half for Clark Summit, I think. Matters on the nylon, so it's a good sign, despite the scoreboard going into the half for Clark Summit, I think.
All right, we're going to step aside for a few minutes, come back.
Looking at these stats for both teams that we mentioned going into the half, actually we mentioned at the beginning of the game that assists are kind of your way of gauging how well an offense is working. And so far in this one, Lycoming has 12 assists as a team, but Clark Summit only has 4 assists in this one, a real gauge of kind of how the offense is working or not working in some cases for these teams.
The Clark Summit, after the halftime buzzer, they're just now coming back on the floor. No warm-ups at all. The officials waiting on them. No technicals called. The coaching staff just got back to the bench for Clark Summit, so here we go.
Plenty to talk about, I'm sure, in half for both of these teams, but especially Clark Summit as they try to get back into this one.
Serene Calderon, it looks like the starting 5 for Clark Summit. It is Calderon, Araniva, Messenger, Morgan, and Singleton. Now kick out. Messenger passed on the 3. And now to Morgan with 5 on the shot clock. Singleton will force up that 3. Got it! Elizabeth Singleton with that three-pointer. She has 14, and it's an 11-point deficit for Clark's Summit.
That's a big start to this second half, coming out of the half down like they were.
Three on the way, rattled in by, you guessed it, Maya Wetzel. And she now has 15. Cami Abdo on the floor instead of Ashley Yo, and then the rest of the starting lineup, Maya Wetzel, Megan Duffner, Emily Lockhart, and Kinsey Reed for Lycoming as they are back up by 14 and quickly down the floor. And Reed, ahead of the pack, misses the layup. It is rebounded by Lockhart, and she takes it up and misses. And so back the other way is Clark Summit. Singleton launches another three, and that one is no good. Maya Wetzel with the rebound. Abdo, layup hard, and we have a foul called.
Lycoming's playing a very different pace kind of coming out of this halftime, instead intending on trying to connect on those long passes and try to make those kind of fast break opportunities. A lot of them naturally came up for them in the first half, but now they're really forcing the issue.
That fell on Kirita Morgan, and that's her third as the first foul shot is up and in by Cami Abdo. And now the second. And that one is missed, and Morgan with the rebound. Don't forget, coming up, in an hour or so, it is the championship game of the tournament. The Falcons and the Hawks from SUNY New Paltz. Three on the way, good! Keilani Araneva with the three-pointer. 12-point game. Here is Lockhart down low with the left hand, no good, and Calderon rips away the rebound and starts up the floor. Hounded, gets it to Singleton. Her layup good, and it's a 10-point game. A good start to the third quarter for Clark Summit. Kinsey Reed, Abdo, the three is no good, and Calderon another rebound. That's her seventh. Here is Singleton. Down the floor, she's fouled. And she'll have a chance with free throws to get the lead, or the deficit, into single digits as Kinsey Reed picks up her second foul. Victoria Burton back on for Lycoming. Burton playing just 3 minutes in the first half. So here is Singleton at the line. She is 3 for 4 this afternoon from the free throw line. Misses the first one. It's an 8-4 start to the quarter for Clark's Summit. And the second bounces off to the right. Those are a couple of big misses for Singleton, especially as well as she shoots the ball. So Lycoming working around the arc with it. Duffner goes down to Burton working against Morgan. High up off the glass, no good. Calderon rips that one away. Her 8th rebound. Singleton, dribble drive, fouled again. This one it looks like will be Burton.
Like you mentioned, it took Clark Summit a minute to get back out onto the court here at the end of the half. Whatever they talked about has been working, because they're coming out with some vengeance, with a little bit of extra fire, a little bit of extra grit. Coming on to the second half.
And that is another miss for Elizabeth Singleton. That's 3 in a row she has missed. And the second rattles home. 9-point deficit. It has not been at 9 for quite some time. Abdo the three. That one is no good. And it's Messenger with the rebound, but she's tied up, and the possession arrow is to Lycoming. Jillian Pamputis in, Victoria Burton out. Ball inbounded and nearly stolen into the hands of Pamputis. Three by Duffner is good. That is a big three. And back up to 12 for Lycoming.
That's a big response by Lycoming. Try not to give Clark Summit too much hope.
And now an offensive foul, and I think this is on Morgan, and it's her fourth. Rita Morgan, her fourth foul. And Caroline Winkle off the bench. 12-point lead for Lycoming, and now a dribble drive and a kick-out pass, and that one is off the fingertips of Duffner and out of bounds. That's after Calderon had fingers on that. Singleton quickly down the floor, all the way in with the left hand, too hard. And back the other way is Duffner. That pass knocked away. Wetzel comes up with it, though. The three is no good. And here is Clark Summit. Calderon to Messenger. That ball knocked around. Singleton. And now we have a foul, maybe off the ball. Not sure. I think that is off the ball, her third and the team's third. Still not yet halfway through the third quarter. Calderon with the inbounds. A three is up and no good by Winkle. That pass knocked away by Calderon. Wetzel thought about that three, instead passes off on the drive to Kinsey Reed, up and in. And it's back to a 14-point lead for Lycoming. Past the halfway mark of the third quarter. Calderon three. And down and out. Offensive rebound, though, by Aaron Neva. Now to Messenger. Singleton down the lane. Has that ball knocked away. No foul called. And it is Duffner with Wetzel. And Duffner with the left hand, no good. Calderon with the foul.
It took Lycoming a minute coming out of halftime to really get back into their rhythm, but they're still playing their game. They're managing to work it down low.
Well,
keeping the pressure on.
Back to a 14-point lead and a timeout, Clark Summit. It's a 9-9 third quarter points, which is where it was at halftime. Clark Summit had an advantage, but now it's back up to 14 points, which is where it was at halftime. Conference schedule. Later on this afternoon at 5:30.
Yeah, I think here coming out of this intermission with only about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, it's imperative that Clark Summit starts to build that momentum back. Again, they started the quarter strong. You got to end the quarter strong. Even if they're not able to make the comeback in this one, at least have that momentum. Have something to kind of hang your hat on going forward.
Megan Duffner makes both free throws, and now it's a 16-point game. Calderon into the corner. Caroline Winkle. Aaron Neva with the three, and that one is short. But Calderon with the offensive rebound. Messenger at three, and that one is long. And it is Singleton going for the rebound. She knocks it out of bounds. And now down the floor is Pamputis. Out to Abdo, and Lycoming sets their offense with 3.5 minutes to go. And a nice give and go to the back door is Abdo, and she scores. And it's an 18-point lead just like that. That is the largest lead this afternoon for Lycoming. Messenger gets that pass out, and a nice job by Winkle. Throw that ball off the leg and then out of bounds. Inbound, shot is up and in by Winkle. Wetzel passed on that three, Duffner. And now Wetzel. Lycoming perfectly content to run some offense here. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Abdo the three, and that one is missed. And that long rebound taken by Lycoming. Here's Duffner. Wetzel the three, and that one's short, and another offensive rebound. Pamputis. Now down to 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. So a third look at the basket. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Duffner a three. That one is long, no good, and the rebound to Erin Neva. And she is trapped, and we'll have a foul. A foul on Maya Wetzel. That is her fourth. And she comes out.
You know, and like you said, Lycoming kind of content to just keep passing the ball around and keep the clock moving. The nice part is for them, that's kind of what the game plan was all along. Keep making good passes and make each possession count. Use everything the shot clock has to give you. So Lycoming doesn't need to change their game plan. Clark Summit needs to find a way to change it for them.
And Lycoming with 16 assists. Calderon passes on that. Three, Singleton. Now a 2 up and no good. Singleton fighting for that rebound. But it's back the other way, and here is Duffner down the floor. A runner is no good. And it's Calderon with another rebound. Down to a minute to go, third quarter. Messenger looking down low, backing down, and it'll be a jump ball as Winkle trying to get that shot up. But that ball blocked in the hand by Kinsey Reed to create the jump ball. Possession arrow to Clark's Summit. Messenger inbounds deep. The three, good by Serene Calderon, and she has a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds.
And that's exactly what you want to do there with only 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Find a way to get a quick shot, and it worked for them.
Under 30 seconds, as you can see in the quarter. Still 15 on the shot clock. Kinsey Reed to her right, and she is fouled by Messenger. So Kinsey Reed, a senior last year, played in 20 games with 13 starts and averaged nearly, made the MAC academic honor roll, as the first foul shot is no good. Second foul shot is good. 14-point game. Shot clock off. 15 to go here in the quarter. Singleton now with 10. Dribble drive, kick out to Calderon. Three, good! Serene Calderon hits the three. And that ends the third quarter, and it's an 11-point game, 50. And after the run by Lycoming, it is Clark Summit on an 8-1 run to finish.
11-point game.
Okay, Rita Morgan still on the bench. She has only played 11 minutes because she has 4 fouls. So now it's a double team. Megan Duffner, though, beats that double team, and now the ball is stolen. Oh, my goodness gracious. Stolen from behind, but a foul is called on that. First foul called on Elizabeth Singleton. Singleton this afternoon, 15 points, 3 rebounds. Inbounds pass to Kinsey Reed. Nice inbounds play, and she takes it up and in. A 3 up and in. Caroline Winkle, and it's a 10-point game. Duffner runs into Winkle and back out again. Down low to Lockhart, and her shot is up, no good. Rebound loose, and it will go to Clark Summit. So they have the ball and an opportunity as a timeout called by Lycoming, but Clark Summit momentarily got the deficit to 9 in the third quarter, and then right away, Lycoming points right now would really make this game feel differently. So here is Singleton bringing it across half court. Clark Summit looking for that big hoop here. Singleton stops the dribble, now double teamed, and the ball is stolen, knocked away. They do not get a shot off down to Kinsey Reed. Up, she's fouled, she'll go to the line. So Ashlyn Messenger picks up her third, and that's a big possession with no shot that turns into 2 free throws for Lycoming, even though Kinsey Reed misses the first one. And now the second. And that one is missed. Nice block out there by Messenger to allow Singleton to get the rebound. And now they're right back in this situation that they can close the lead down. Singleton out to Calderon. They didn't get a shot off the last time they had it down 10. Here's Singleton. 8 on the shot clock. Free throw line, out to Messenger. They still don't have that shot off. Calderon with 3 on the shot clock. The shot is up, and it's an air ball. So 2 possessions and 1 rush shot. Down by 10 for the defenders.
That's a tough series of possessions there, not only because you didn't cash in, but also that momentum goes away the second Lycoming gets the ball back and manages to cash in.
Down the floor, the dribble drive. The shot is no good by Pamputis, though she corrals the rebound. And now it's Abdo setting the offense. Lockhart. Passing on the 3 was Pamputis. Dribbles into the lane. The shot is up, no good. And the ball knocked out of bounds with 1 second on the shot clock. Still a lot of time to go in a 10-point game. If you're Clark Summit here, you don't want to give up an easy basket. And that is a violation, but nothing called as that ball didn't hit anything. Back the other way is Singleton. Down the lane. The runner is up. She is fouled, and I think that's Megan Duffner who picks up her third. Or pardon me, it is Kinsey Reed called with the foul. Her third, and Singleton to the line.
If my memory serves me right, I believe that was the first shot clock violation of this game. If it wasn't the first, there haven't been very many. Both teams using the clock to their advantage.
So here is Singleton in the first foul shot misses. She has had a rough afternoon from the line. She is now 4 for 9 from the free throw line. And now the second. And she got that one home. 9-point game. Pressure in the backcourt. Duffner. Across half court to Abdo. Down low to Reed, up no good, gets her own rebound, takes it right back up and in.
Reed's had that advantage all night down in the paint and continues to cash in right there.
Singleton to Calderon. Messenger looking, working against Lockhart, spinning. Shot up, no good. Singleton the rebound, back up off the glass and in. Araneva missed, but Singleton there for the rebound, and it's a 9-point game. Lycoming with the lead, 3 on the way, no good, but Lockhart with the rebound, back up and in.
It's been the story of this game. Clark Summit starts to get some momentum, and Lycoming with those good offensive rebounds.
Here is Singleton down the floor, has that shot blocked, and it's taken away by Duffner. Back the other way. Duffner 1-on-2 all the way down the floor. Up, no good. Calderon the rebound. And she races back the other way. And she gets it to Messenger, up and in. And it's back to 9 with still over 6 minutes to go in the game.
And that's a great sign for Clark Summit right there. A really well-executed fast break opportunity.
Duffner terminates the dribble. And now to Pamputis to Lockhart well above the arc. With now 10 on the shot clock. Pamputis working against Calderon. Left-handed shot, no good, and Calderon another rebound. She's down the floor. And we have a bump foul. So Clark Summit, as Duffner picks up her third. Okay, Rita Morgan on the floor with 4 fouls. She comes back. And it is Mia Rudalovich on the floor for Lycoming.
This is a big possession for Clark Summit. If you can capitalize on back-to-back possessions, started both by defensive rebounds.
Wide open, Calderon. 3 no good. Morgan with the rebound, but it's into a jump ball, and the possession arrow, it stays Clark's Summit. So the ball to be inbound by Ashlyn Messenger. To Singleton, who keeps the dribble alive on the floor and calls a timeout. Or somebody called the timeout. That might have been the head coach, Marvin Evans.
10-point, 11-point leads that we've had lately, none of them have felt particularly comfortable.
Messenger to trigger the inbound. To Singleton. Forces up that shot. Misses, but she is fouled. And that is on Cami Abdo. And out of the line is Elizabeth Singleton, who is 5 for 10 from the line this afternoon. First foul shot is good. It's an 8-point game. And now the second one. That one rattles out. So 8-point game. Rudalovich with the rebound, and now to Duffner. Pamputis. Kinsey Reed. Abdo in the deep corner, into the lane. Dribble drive, forces up that layup, no good. But Reed all alone for the offensive rebound.
If you had to name one thing that's been the Achilles heel for Clark Summit so far today, I think it'd be that, having Reed get those opportunities down low all afternoon.
Calderon dribbles into a steal, and now back the other way is Pamputis. So a 10-point lead and the ball under 5 to go. And there's a bump on Messenger, and that is her fourth. So she has 4, and Morgan has 4. And back on is Winkle, and Araneva leaves. Ten-point game, 61-51, Lycoming. They led by 18 with 3:19 to go in the third quarter. Maya Wetzel, Kinsey Reed. Dribble drive by Morgan. The layup is good, no foul. And it is a 12-point game. And Clark Summit really needing a basket here as Singleton misses, takes it back up and in. And she has 21. Now a give and go, and that ball lost but saved by Duffner. And now it's Pamputis. Wetzel. Abdo, long three. Got it. Nearly out of bounds in front of Lycoming's bench, and she nails the big three, and it's a 13-point game with 3:40 to go. There is Singleton down the lane, up off the glass and in.
Good job by Clark Summit to respond to that, but boy, that three really hurts if you're the defenders right now.
I think both these teams are gassed at this point. There's a layup up and in by Pamputis. It's a lot of basketball in a short amount of time. Less than 24 hours, 2 games. Entry pass is knocked away and stolen by Reed, but it's restolen. And here's Calderon down the lane with the left hand, no good. Reed, the rebound. That is 16 rebounds to go with her 21 points for Kinsey Reed. 3 by Abdo, and that just might do it. 71-55, it's back to a 16-point lead with 2:45 to go. Shot up by Morgan. 14-point game. That ball knocked away and a foul on Messenger, and she has fouled out.
Fouls on number 24, Ashlyn Messenger. That's her.
So Keilani Araneva will come on the floor for Ashlyn Messenger. Messenger finishes with 6 points on 2 for 8 shooting and 4 rebounds. So I'm not sure what we're waiting on here. The substitution had already been made, although they had a minute. So finally, an inbounds with 2.5 to go. They go into the backcourt to Duffner. Cami Abdo hit a couple of three-pointers. There's a shot that's missed to Singleton, and she races down the floor, up off the glass with a layup, bangs out. And now back the other way, Lycoming, and it'll be Pamputis to pull it back, and now to Wetzel. And they start their offense with under 2 minutes to go. Give and go to Duffner, and that pass over her head and out of bounds.
Yeah, Lycoming definitely okay with just taking their time, but even so, they're still getting those quick little opportunities down low, keeping at least a foot on the gas.
Singleton out to Calderon. It's a 14-point deficit now. A minute and a half left. Calderon, the shot no good. Reed with the rebound. And back the other way is Lycoming. Skip pass to Abdo, to Duffner. And it looks like they'll use some time. Now they go down to Reed. Abdo thinking about that shot instead to Pamputis. Up off the glass and in. Well, the score as a timeout by Clark Summit. Score is not going to be indicative of how things went in the latter half of the second half. You really have to tip your cap to Clark Summit to try to stay in this one with a pretty short bench in this tournament.
Yeah, Clark Summit with a lot of the odds against them coming into this one. But I think in that fourth quarter, especially like you mentioned, the latter half of this game, we saw a lot more energy and a lot more consistency from Clark Summit, especially here late in this fourth quarter. And they were finding ways to extend those offensive opportunities and cash in on them when they needed to. The problem is it's just a little bit too little, a little bit too late.
Mentioned the big game for Elizabeth Singleton. She has 23 and 7 rebounds. Serene Calderon, a double-double for he was the difference for a while. So the ball inbounded now by Lycoming. It looks like that Clark's Summit will fall to 1 and 3 in Lycoming to improve to 2 and 3. Serene Calderon. Skip pass, and that is off the hands and out of bounds of Caroline Winkle. Abdo, to Duffner. Under 40 seconds. Abdo in the key, now out to Wetzel. Dribble drive by Duffner with still 8 on the shot clock. Pamputis above the arc. She'll take it in the lane. Up off the glass, no good. That rebound taken by Singleton. Down to the last 15 seconds. Erin Neva misses. Singleton fights for the rebound, gets it back, takes it up, blocked, and that should do it. Megan Duffner with the ball in the backcourt, and that does it. The Lycoming Warriors split their two in the Messiah Women's Tip-Off Tournament, 73-57.
Yeah, just like we mentioned, for Clark Summit, though, something to hang your hat on. In the first quarter, they were shooting from the field 26.7%, 27.8% in the second. But after that halftime, they shot about 43% from the field. So they upped by about 10% coming out of halftime. So there was that improvement. It was just a little too late for them after a rougher first half. But of course, Lycoming just playing a solid game the entire way around. You got to give them the credit where the credit's due. And great on them to bounce back and split this one before heading back to non-tournament play.
Lycoming with a 20-point fourth quarter when all is said and done. I gave you the big points. Kinsey Reed with 21 and 18 rebounds. Maya Wetzel with 15 points. Also had 4 assists. 8 points for Megan Duffner, 9 for Cammie Abdo. For Clark's Summit, Elizabeth Singleton 23. Serene Calderon 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. 4 assists from a rare triple-double in women's college basketball. So those two teams will next both be in action coming up this week. On Tuesday night, Clark Summit will be against Cedar Crest College at home, while Lycoming plays Penn College on Tuesday night at home. Now in about 25 minutes or so, it'll be the Falcons of Messiah University taking on the SUNY New Paltz Hawks in the championship game of the tip-off tournament. So hang out. PJ and I will be back in about 20 minutes or so with the starting lineups, and we'll set things up for the championship game right here on GoMessiah.tv.